Hey guys, happy league new year. It's a new year finally. This week the free agency began, and Chief Concerns is going to be all over it and talking about the acquisitions and everything. And of course, we're here with our hosts Jason Dunn and Eric Warfield. Guys, how you doing?
Good.
What up, fellas?
How's it going?
Good, man. It's been a while, I guess, since our show last Wednesday. It was Wednesday. Then the next day, the Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz cuts happened, and then this week. I mean, yeah, I know we're going to get into all of that this week, but it's been kind of a whirlwind, man. It's like a different team we're going to be looking at next year already.
That's the power of the free agency.
Yeah, I'll say yes. I wasn't surprised, to be honest with you. So. I kind of figured, man, look at the price tag, especially, man, when you're looking at it, it was probably in the Chiefs' best interest. The question is, they're going to be able to make up for that. I think they will. So.
Yeah, I mean, and right now I think we have 17 or 18 million dollars to spend. We're going to get into more of this, but we still have 17, 18 million, and we're seeing these guys sign these 1-year prove-it deals, like we said that was going to happen. But I guess we're waiting to see, like, the receiver market's fallen. The receivers are signing for nothing. So, and there's a lot of names out there still. So there's a chance we can get some of these big names that we've been talking about. Actually, and Patrick Pearson, which we did talk about, and AJ Green, both gone, not on the market anymore.
Yeah.
But before we get to the free agency stuff, I did ask before we got on Eric if Eric did a March Madness bracket. JD, did you do a bracket?
I did. I haven't finished it up yet though, so I've been because I haven't been watching a lot of basketball on TV.
That's the same thing.
Yeah. So me and my boys, man, we got this. We doing a big old bracket right now, and a lot of guys that they play basketball in school too. So. It's going to be contentious, man. This all season. I think I'm gonna pull it off. I don't know. I'm pulling some things off of what I remember from last year. Some of the guys. So we'll see, man. I think we'll see.
You think Kentucky gonna pull it off?
Kentucky ain't in it, man. They ain't gonna do that.
Well, who in the hell are you talking about? You say we?
Yeah. Who you say with we?
When I said I think we gonna pull it off. Going against the guys. Me. I think I'm going to pull it off. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Let me put a little bit.
I was like, damn.
me and my team. Me and my. Me. I got so many different personalities up here. You know what I'm saying? It's a we. So.
I mean, I know we had talked about it at least at one point, and I thought you mentioned that Kentucky was your team, right?
I'm a Kentucky fan by default. Now, yeah. I'm actually, so here's the thing, and I know a lot of my family gives me a lot of grief for it, is I'm a Duke fan. I'm a Blue Devils fan.
You know what? It's hard not to be, man.
Huh?
It's hard not to be.
Well, I got a story behind it why I am, especially from the state of Kentucky. And if you know anything about just the history between Christian Laettner and UK and that whole deal, just like a big no-no here in the state of Kentucky to become a Duke fan. So, yeah, man, it's a good story. It's a good story. I might have to share it one day, maybe.
Cool.
Yeah, being from the Northern Virginia area, Grant Hill grew up in this area, and then he obviously went to Duke and stuff. So Duke kind of holds a special place in this Northern Virginia area's heart. So yeah, I think everyone's got a little bit of Duke, like a little bit of Duke flavor in them. I think so.
Yeah.
You can't be a basketball fan and not have a little bit of Duke in you, right?
Yeah, we all got a little Dukey in us.
That's true too. All right. Okay, so we're going to get to our chief concern number one, which obviously the biggest news of the week, a lot of people are saying it's the signing of the week, was the Chiefs going and getting Joe Thuney or Joe Thuney. I still don't know how they pronounce it.
Is it Thuney?
Thuney?
Yeah, I think so.
Joe Thuney, left guard from New England. He was an NC State Wolfpack player. Guy's a beast, and he got paid like he's a beast this week. And we also signed Kyle Long out of retirement, took a 1 year off, dealt with some injuries and stuff, and they say he's in the best shape of his life, and we're bringing him back. So right off the bat, what were you guys' thoughts on these signings this week?
I mean, to me, it seems like we got two solid picks. And, granted, you hate to lose, Swords and Fish the way we lost them, but, coming off of injuries, it's hard. You never know what you're going to get. when you have those guys coming back, when you can especially save that amount of money. You know, you hate to part ways with guys that have put such a hard work in for so long for the organization, but we also understand it's a business. Yeah, you know, me and Jason have been through the same situation. We had it at one point. We were released also. You know, it's no bad blood, even though at the moment you feel that way, but in due time, you understand the process of what the NFL is, and it is a business. You know, and the teams are trying to work towards building a Super Bowl every single year. And so if they can find some young, cheaper talent to come out and do the same thing, then they're definitely going to get it. So, and I, you know, like I said, nothing against, you know, I guess you can't say nothing against what those two guys have done. I guess I'm just saying more so with the relationship that they have gathered in Kansas City, we always say, you know, that the guys are family and you hate to part ways that way. But then again, as I said not too long ago, it is a business. So, you know, bringing in those two guys, I think they're two solid picks. Long, after being out for so long, I think with the off-season workouts and training camp, he'll have a good transition into what he needs to do for this offense.
Yeah, so I tell you what, man, I like that they had these two acquisitions, no question about it. You know, for a number of reasons, but of course, you know, it's going to show up the offensive line, the guard play, which without a doubt, and I look at it from the standpoint. So the offensive line, just kind of going through what they kind of represent. So the guards represent the depth of the pocket. You know what I'm saying? The tackles are the width. And so what you're trying to do is you're going to make sure nothing comes up the middle on Patrick. Okay, so the way that you're stacking what you're doing with your offensive line. Okay, so we got the depth part of it. Now we're thinking about also too when you get with Long in, who has played tackle, and I'm just like, okay, so this he's versatile, right? Former Pro Bowler, takes a year off to kind of get his body right, and I think, man, to be honest with you, that probably did a tremendous amount of help just to him and his body and his mentality. Because sometimes you just get worn out just playing football. And sometimes just having a year of just coming back, he knows he misses it. So I know he'll come back probably more hungrier, just ready to come out here and, you know, just to play. So I like the acquisition of Long coming in because he's a proven guy, has played guard, has played some tackle, just in case you might need him to play him on the outside. That'd be a good thing. Now, the thing is this: we knew, you know, it was going to be, you know, Fisher and Schwartz. That's like Eric said, that's the nature of the beast. And in this business, man, there's really no loyalty. Every time you think it's going to be, it just isn't. I mean, you could say it with Brett Favre when you thought he was going to be in Green Bay forever, right? Emmitt Smith, whoever thought Emmitt Smith would leave from the Cowboys. And so when you start going over and over to all these different places the guys have gone, you realize, like, yeah, it is a business. And sometimes it's got to be in the best interest of the team, because the main thing is winning. That's what you looked at. I mean, that's how you're measured, on your wins, not about how good of a guy you are in the league. And hey, you know, we kept him here and it was a family. Look, hey, listen, we love you, kiss you, hope you do well over here, but you know what? We got to move on. Every year it's all about winning the Super Bowl. So I think that, man, was a great step in the right direction. You know, we still got some room to make some more moves. That's the thing about it. I don't think when people are thinking like, oh my gosh, we got, you know, two guards, we don't really need these guys. Why we put, you know, a lot of emphasis on it? Well, look, we needed those guys on the inside. So it's the same thing, like, you know, having a center there, right? So if you got, you know, two good guards to protect a center who may not necessarily be a Pro Bowler or a guy who is serviceable, that is key, to have two guys on your edge, on your outside that's protecting you over things like that. So that's huge. It's huge on that part, man. So I think, man, it was hats off to the Chiefs, man, making it signing, man. It was a good job. I was pleasantly surprised. And
I think so. Just reading more about this Joe Thuney, for example, He's a guard, a left guard, but he played tackle at times last year for New England. Kyle Long, as you said, he played right tackle, was a Pro Bowl right tackle one year, and he was guard for the rest of it. But I mean, they like guys who are versatile, can play all the positions on the line, which is something that, since Reed's been there, they've looked for guys like that. And I think the one thing to take away from the Mitchell Shorts is that they're saying that he might actually retire in the end anyway. So we would have had to find another right tackle anyways. So that's something that some Chief fans are pissed off that we released him, but he was going to go anyway if he is going to retire. But okay, so this leads us to our next question, talking about Chief fans getting pissed off. We're not even a week into free agency, right? Officially, we're only a day from removed from it, but Chief fans are upset for the fact that Austin Ryder, our center, we let him go, but we've extended an offer out to him. So apparently he's mulling it over still. But we still don't have a left tackle. We re-signed Mike Remmers just a little while ago. That's added depth for our right tackle spot. But we're still without a center and a left tackle. Now, are you concerned about those vacancies, or do you think there's guys out there that we can fill in either via free agency or the draft?
I mean, it's always come down to the point to where we as now spectators, heck, even as players, we don't have a say in what comes into that, that draft meeting board or room or what those coaches want. That's a decision that Veach and the coaching staff is going to have to come up with. As much as we can sit there, even as players, and to say, or as fans, say, oh, we need this, we need that. Let's get this player, let's get that player. And then we're disappointed when it doesn't happen. But it comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important and at what value we can get it at. So we can't sit back here and be critical of what they do, when they've already put together a Super Bowl winning team. So we just got to put our trust in what Veach has done and Andy Reid and the rest of this coaching staff so that they're going to get the job done. Even though we might be, it seems like we are missing at some spots. You just got to have the confidence that they're going to bring in the right players for the right value.
Yeah, so I don't see an issue and a problem right now. There should be any panicking at the moment, especially during this off season. Man, there's guys that's still out there, good guys that's still out there to come in and give a lot to it, and you just got to court them. So I'll tell you one that comes to mind for me is Villanueva. I mean, he's the guy that I think we should go after, to have. But also, too, man, I'm encouraged because there's a lot of guys coming out in the draft, too, that are really good at the tackle position. And so, I know guys are like, man, this guy like that ready coming in. Well, look, here's the thing. These guys that you have that you think is going to be a first or second round are playing at a high level anyway. So these guys are already playing against, some of that talent, when in college. And so it's just getting ready into that system of like, okay, look, we just got to get you ready, get you prepared, and it's just got to speed up the process. But I think, man, the Chiefs understand I know what they're doing. These guys are smart guys, okay? These are guys are football guys. So we're talking about Andy Reid, Veach, and these guys have been doing this thing for a long time. So it's not like somebody just going to pass by them like, oh, man, we didn't see that coming. But these guys have been thinking about this for a long time. Now, I'll tell you how long they've been thinking about it. They've been thinking about this probably from like the year before, because they knew like, hey, well, look, this guy's gonna be making $15 million a year. He gets hurt, we're already thinking right now, who can we bring in? And they're always checking right now with the scouts. They get paid to do this. They get paid to look these guys over to who's going to be next up in line coming into the draft. So I'm encouraged, man. The Chiefs, I believe they know what they're doing. So it's no need to panic right now. There's 3 or 4 guys in free agency that will come in and do a great job playing left tackle for the Chiefs, man. And I think they'll get them at a good price as well. So no need to panic. It's still kind of early, man. But I will say this. Hopefully, and I know they're probably courting about 2 or 3 guys that I probably just kind of named right now to come in here. So one good signing. Hey, man. We get Villanueva? Shoot, I'll sit back like this there. I'm like, shoot, we good. We get another tackle in the draft. Shoot, we where we need to be.
Yeah, and I think that and one thing I just noticed, and you probably know the reason behind this, Jason and Eric, But the best centers in drafts usually go in like the second round. They're usually late. They're usually late picks of all the offensive linemen. Why is a center? And we could probably get the best center of the draft in the second round or in the or late first. But why is a center the best center usually go later than the tackles or the guards and stuff?
I think because of you don't look at them as much as a priority in itself, right? It's not protecting the backside or the blind side of the quarterback as much as seeing everything coming in front of you. And so, like I said, if you have like two good guards, on the side of you could kind of get away with a guy who's serviceable or a good, center. Look, when I played, we had, Casey Whitman, who was an incredible center. It's kind of undersized, but Casey could do a lot, man. When he could pull on the outside, there was things that we was asking him to do that was really tough, and people couldn't really appreciate the things that centers do. They call out the defense. They setting everything up. The pass protection, they doing everything. They calling the line schemes, where we sliding, what we doing. And so a great center is something that you can get in maybe the third or fourth round, because nobody's looking at him like, well, this guy right here is just snapping the football. Well, shoot, he's doing a lot more than that. But a lot of guys that are playing center understand exactly what they have to do and the importance of their job. But you can get them. You can get them, like I said, in fourth or fifth round, no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I couldn't. To be honest, like, this is a crazy thing. Of all the positions throughout football, I could name off at least 20 for any position. But at center, I only know of Kelsey. I know of Jeff Saturday and Casey Wigman. I couldn't tell you many more of the centers that played in the league. They don't get the notification, the glory that comes with that position. And I don't know why. They're not the big. They don't demand the big money for whatever reason. So it's not that sexy of a pick, I guess. And I don't know the reason for it. So, like I said, I couldn't tell you many guys. Give you a name of guys right now that played center. I just know those guys that I just named.
Yeah. Some old, like the old school though, like Hall of Famers, right? Like Webster, my boy that played from Pittsburgh.
I know Zach because he played with Kansas City when I was there. So I can tell you the guys that played when I was in Kansas City, and like I said, Jeff Saturday and
Grunny. Yeah, Tim Grunhard.
Grunhard, yeah.
Yeah, Grunny, you did a good job. I know it because I'm on offense, so I know some of the guys, of course. But Damani Dawson from the state of Kentucky, I had to give him a shout out. Yeah, Damani, man, another guy, athletic, could do it all. Strong. But those guys, man, when you're up there at the line of scrimmage, making the calls, the one that's sitting there, the quarterback is listening to the most is the center. The center is letting him know everything he needs to know. What the front is, who's the mic, how you set the defense, what the pass protection is going to be, and he's just communicating. It's just that it's a symbiotic, relationship that you have to have, man. It's a beauty once you know what's going on in there. So, like you said, just Saturday was with Peyton Manning. Was that the year where they almost got into it? There was a fight on the sideline. I think Jeff and Peyton was about to get into it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was a big deal because Peyton, he was like, hey, because Jeopardy was saying, look, we need to run the football. Stop trying to pass the ball when we only need about 2 or 3 yards to make the first down. And so, yeah, it was a big fight on the sideline. And Peyton Tate said, look, I was overmatched because I knew right then I'm going in, I'm talking to guys who are protecting my butt. And I need to speak softly to these dudes to make sure, what I'm saying? I don't piss these guys off. So that's man. You got, look, quarterback knows, they know. Shoot, they know.
Yeah, and there was a chance that because the Raiders, there was rumors that Raiders were going to drop Rodney Hudson, who used to be our center, who became the highest paid center at one point, and I think or Mitch Morse, who we cut 2 years ago, ended up being the highest paid center and over leapfrogged Rodney Hudson. So the Chiefs have produced some good centers the last few years. And you're talking about Villanueva. So there's Villanueva at left tackle, and then there's also Riley Reiff at left tackle from Minnesota. And then there's David Andrews, who was Joe Thuney's center in New England. So there could be that.
Yeah. Like him. I seen that up there. I was like, oh yeah, he's available. Oh yeah, that'd be perfect. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, one-year deals, like you said, draft rookies that play behind these guys. So in a year's time, they're ready to go. Okay, so our next concern, so there's Chief fans getting upset about everything right now because they think everything's going to shit. They're upset about Blake Bell and the Kaiser signing. So the tight end position, the number 2 tight end, which has been talks. We've on the show been talking about it. And then on the other aspect was getting a receiver, because right now we only have Pringle, Hardman, Hill, and I believe that's it right now, and Marcus Kemp. So that's all we have right now.
No, don't you still have Tanjay Sharp? And Sharp's still there?
Tanjay Sharp is a free agent now, but Antonio Callaway, he was the Browns receiver who got in trouble, but we signed him to a futures contract, so he's on the squad now as well. So, as far as what should we be prioritizing? Obviously offensive line and edge rush we've talked about, but as far as tight end and receiver, we need to fill those. I mean, we need to fill those positions. Do you think we need to prioritize maybe going to get a Zach Ertz? Or do we need to go, give a 1-year, $7 million deal to JuJu? I mean, which position should we be prioritizing right now?
Well, if I had my druthers, all right, it was at the time when Kyle Rudolph was available. I thought we should have went and got Kyle Rudolph. That'd have been perfect for us, to have a guy like that who's a known blocker, who can catch balls, knows often no defenses. I mean, as a veteran guy, it would help out tremendously. But I think, you get Bale. I think Bale is a good guy. I think you could get a guy maybe in the draft, possibly, in later rounds and picks. But I think now get a receiver in free agency. Maybe some guy look. There's plenty of guys out there right now that could come in and just do what you want them to do. I mean, some good guys out there, some good names. So the problem is it's the money. So it's like you come in talking crazy. We ain't gonna be able to do that for you, man. Look, this is what we had. You got a chance to win the Super Bowl. Think about it. I'm not trying to do like a one-term, 1-year deal. So do like 2 or 3 if you can. At least a 2-year deal. You would have got.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Rudolph thing too. Just having a good, solid tight end coming in to relieve Kelsey of his duties. Dude puts his hat on and carry his lunch pail every single play. And so to be able to give him a breather and to still have a threat at that position, it makes sense. The receivers, I just think that with Nicole Hardman and Tariq Hill, I think we can put somebody out there young to learn from those guys. And like Jason said, pick somebody late that's still available on the market. The money is going to be a big issue. I don't know what we can afford right now, especially with the draft coming up and still needing edge rushers and another complete lineman. So we have some issues that we got to kind of get around. But I think that for the core of what we have, you got two linemen. I think our offensive weapons are good enough as they are. I think we can easily input players around them that can learn fast enough to be successful within the scheme of things. But I think right now we just need solid points, and our solid points mostly are pass rushers, offensive line, and maybe an extra wide receiver. Other than that, I don't have a big concern of where we're at right now. And I think that, like I said, Veach and Reed have done an excellent job of bringing guys in that have filled in and done well for us. And I think they know what we need and what they would like to have a part of the team. So,
yeah.
Man, so I know we missed out on the Kyle Rudolph thing, right? But we still have I'm thinking about like a Perriman. We're talking about kind of big receivers. T.Y. Tilton is available also, right? So we bring him in. He's been plagued by some injuries. So I think I agree with you 100%, man. We got some young guys, man, that's been in the offense that are proven. You know what I'm saying? They're just getting better and better. And sometimes just having that chemistry with a quarterback, because you don't want to break that up. Because these guys are just learning, exactly what you want, especially the young guys that you can mold exactly how you want them to be in your offense. I think, man, that's having a receiver in-house that understands exactly what's wanted, what's required of them out there is key. But yeah, you can bring in a veteran guy that does a good job. Alshon Jeffries, is he still available? Man, it's off seat, man. This free agency, man, has been rolling. I mean, these guys are, coming available, people getting signed. I mean, it's almost like every time you look at the ticket, man, guys are just being picked up. But there are guys out here. There are guys out here, man, that want to play. So, man, we could definitely get that. But my question to you, E, is this. And I know we're just kind of getting off the subject. Do you think, is it a higher priority to get a defensive end or a pass rusher than a wide receiver or a tight end? You think that's so our money is better spent probably on that side of the ball, getting somebody that's going to be able to come after, the quarterback, as opposed to, the quarterback throwing to somebody, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I like the young guys, man. I do. I like who's in the house, who's catching the football for us right now.
I agree 100%.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Justin Houston's available. We talked about him earlier on in the offseason. He's still out there. Actually, the names on the edge rushers and the ends and outside backers, it's a good list. It's a list. It's a good list.
Yeah, it's a good list. The problem with those guys, the market just sets them up for the money. That's the only thing about it.
Yeah.
What's it like? They say Clowney too. Clowney's available, but that joker's gonna be asking for big money. Like, look,
Clowney, he's asking for big money every year.
Yeah, he's been giving. Hey, you know what? They've been giving it to him too. He's been getting the big money. So, yeah, man. Nah, but there's some good guys out there. It really is. So, I think you could get a pass rusher and get a good wide receiver for the money to come in here as well.
Yeah.
So we're in a good spot right now, the way I look at it. So, just keep courting these guys. Come in and feed them a nice steak dinner, a little lobster, what they like, and see what we can get next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
and you gotta do it over Zoom now. You can't give them no steak dinner.
Oh, shoot.
Well, Kyle Long said, because he went from the Raiders visit, and then he went to the Chiefs like the hours later, and I guess they talked to him today, and he said it was just no comparison coming from the Raiders organization to the Chiefs within a day. Just meeting everybody, said it was just completely different, and he ended up signing. So, I mean, it's one of those things. You bring these guys in to the organization, meeting Reed, meeting Veach, talking to Mahomes. I mean, I can't see you. I wouldn't leave, right? I mean, if you were in these guys' positions.
So,
100%.
Yeah. I mean, it says a lot about the organization. So he's been on the free agent market, and I've been places on the buzz, just flying around to, all right, what do they have for me here, right? What are we talking about? Potentially signing. So I'll say this, man. My last deal I did with Kansas City. I told Carl, I said, look, man, it's real simple with me. I said, either I'm flying back to Kansas City to put my stuff in the locker, or I'm coming back to get stuff out. But I like Kansas City. I was flying, I went to the Raiders, and I was on my way to the Broncos. And then I talked to Carl, and we got something done. I flew back to Kansas City. That's all I needed to do, man. So I just scratched the whole deal going to Denver, and rest is history. But you got to have something for guys to come in. And sometimes organizations, you can tell the difference between an organization. You really can. The professionalism, the love, kind of the history around it. And so, man, Kansas City, man, is a top-notch organization. It really is. Case in point, a few weeks ago, we were just talking about Benny Sapp, right? In Miami, how they did him. I mean, it's just crazy to me. So, you know, the Chiefs, man, just have a top-notch organization all the way around.
Yeah.
I always had a question as far as like when you guys take visits to teams, who's fitting the bill in that one? Are they footing the bill in that one, or are you guys having to pay for your own flights to these visits? I'm always curious about that.
No, they pay for those.
They do. Okay.
And I wish I would pay my own way to go with you. And you want me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Marcus, think about it like this. If you went out on a date, right? And you bring your date in, you want them paying for dinner? I don't think that's gonna last. You know what I'm saying? That'd be the one and only dinner you're gonna have with that person.
I won't get my dessert later on.
Yeah. True. So yeah, you better have flowers and dessert and another course meal ready for them. Yeah, man. Yeah, you court them, treat them right. Treat them right.
So, and last question of the night. This is something that everyone was kind of surprised about. Obviously, Trent Williams did not sign with the Chiefs, but everyone, it kind of shows something that everything that we saw in that Super Bowl, even the Saints game, going back to the Saints game, we were talking about Mahomes getting like smacked around. It showed that there's an emphasis in this organization, which you see Russell Wilson's been complaining about. They've been protecting him the entire time he's been there. And the first sign of any kind of, Mahomes possibly getting like tackled or hit hard, Veach is trying to, get high priced guys in to protect our guy. What did this whole indication of trying to pay the top dollar to get Trent Williams show you about this organization?
Man, that's just one of those to where you get a $500 million product. Are you gonna get a U-Haul to carry this thing in? Or you gonna get a Brinks truck? So, you want something that's gonna pretty much secure what your investment. And right now, our investment is Patrick Mahomes, and so we have to put something solid around him to protect him front and backside. And we know what he's capable of doing when he's in the pocket, and when he's also out of the pocket, just making plays on his own. But to give him a secure pocket or an extra 2-3 seconds to do what he does, heck yeah, we want to upgrade the offensive line to give him that freedom to be the gunslinger he is. So if Trent, well, he got a pretty nice deal too.
Yep.
Now I don't know if we were able to cut that kind of a check to him, but yeah, he was a high demand, and I don't know if he was within the reach of what we were looking for, but definitely a great player. So, and I do like we discussed earlier, the two guys we brought in, I think they'll fit well. If they're healthy enough for the things that they've done in the NFL so far, I think they'll do just as good to keep us and our offense rolling.
Yeah, I think our money was better served elsewhere. Trent, like you said, he's going to get that big ticket. And so also, too, you had to think about, his age at the time. Like, okay, is he going to pay off for the amount that he wants to do, how long he wants to do the deal? That was another question, right? Like I said, man, it's a business. So you got to quantify everything in. Like, look, is he going to be able to be here for 4 or 5 years? We don't know. We going to get out of him what we want with this money? Or are we looking for something maybe a little bit younger, or a guy that we know, like Bill Winneva, who is a younger guy, younger than Trent, that could come in and stay here a little bit longer, right? Establish that guy. Say, look, we can make this guy, let this be your last stop for your career here in Kansas City. At least that's what I would do. So to me, I'm glad we kind of passed on Trent, man. Like you said, I don't think we had the money to do it. So I think the money was served better elsewhere, as far as like trying to get more with your money.
Yeah.
As opposed to just putting the $1 in this guy and then, left over trying to get scraps, putting things together. So I think there's guys out here, like I said. So I think it was a good pass.
I'm with you. Get a couple McDoubles instead of getting a Big Mac. I'm with
you.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And it said, though, what was surprising was the fact that the Mahomes restructured, Kelsey restructured, Chris Jones restructured, all it seemed to get this Trent Williams play. And it said, a report I read this morning is that we were in it till the final hours of that morning that he signed off with San Francisco. And they apparently they threw in more money at the end that we couldn't really. I guess we didn't want to go match up to that extent.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And finally, we're going to get to our last part of the show. There is no Chief Concerns without our Chiefs Kingdom Concerns segment. And today we have a Chiefs super fan. He goes by @StarWars618 on Twitter. And according to his Zoom account, it looks like his name's Clayton Butler. And so we're going to bring Clayton on right now. Let's see the guy behind the guy.
There we go. All right.
What
See you
up?
guys. Hey, good.
Hey,
How's it going? You in KC?
Nah, Oklahoma.
Oh, okay. You're right. You're not far from me. I'm
Where you
down
from,
here in
man?
Dallas.
Oh, shit. That's not that far.
Yeah, not far at all. Now, how'd you become a KC fan then? Are you from Oklahoma?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, how I became a fan, my dad became a fan when Montana came over in 93.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you just fell in love with Pop's team.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. That's because, well, besides Joe Montana, my dad's favorite player is Tony Gonzalez.
Awesome player to be a fan of.
That's JD's
Oh, yeah,
boy.
definitely.
Who's your
How
favorite
you
player?
doing, brother?
Who's your favorite player?
Oh, shit. So are we talking current roster or are we talking all time?
Your all-time favorite
All-time
player.
Ah, shit, man. There's a lot of good fucking players around.
I tell you what, give us both. Give us like the current roster and then like your all time, like your top five. How about that? You know, we
All
don't
right, Jason.
yeah, we don't want to narrow it down to just one guy, right? Too many good
Oh
guys.
yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, my all-time favorite player would have to be Jamal Charles. Even though he got injured a lot in his career, that man could truck and juke any play on the field.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. Great player.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so your current favorite player on the team.
I would say, I mean, I really do like the upcoming corner, L'Jarius Sneed. He's good. He's got potential to be one of the best corners in the league.
True. So there's no way you're gonna sit here and tell me that Patrick Mahomes is not one of your favorite players.
Okay. All right. Fine. Oh shit, man! I know you fuck with me, but oh shit. Yeah, but yeah, Mahomes, he's good. We should have won the Super Bowl, but honestly, fixing the O-line is one of the top priorities for this team.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I was actually going to preface that question: who's your favorite player besides Mahomes? And then you went off and just said L'Jarius Sneed there.
Yeah, he was trying to beat around the bush there for a while.
I mean, he's good. He's got potential.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think you see a lot of the people online say, "Oh, we need to get a cornerback, another corner." Obviously, yeah, we need to bring back Breland, but people forget L'Jarius Sneed was a badass last year. So.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
And Clayton, so
I mean, okay. Say what you were gonna say.
Buddy? No, you
Okay.
go for it.
Well, I think well, this is my opinion. L'Jarius needs to be our top corner on our depth chart because Breland, he's had some troubles with like his 4-game suspension last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, as long as he resigns for the right price, I think it's good to bring him back.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, yeah. He is a good shutdown corner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
So you ever get out to KC for games? You ever get out to KC for any games?
Yeah. I'm planning on going this season. I mean, since if games are allowed to be played and all that. To when Kansas City's gonna be playing Dallas, because my mom, she's a big Dallas fan.
Hey, yeah, I think so. Is what I haven't checked the schedule. So the Cowboys are on there.
Yeah, they are. Well, since the schedule hasn't been released yet, we've got because Dallas is one of our opponents for a home game at Arrowhead.
Nice. I'm gonna have to come out for that.
Awesome. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah.
It's always fun to play the NFC East.
Yeah.
That's true.
Now, Clayton,
Especially the last time whenever we did play Dallas, they kicked shit out of us.
Yeah, I hate that. I was at that game. I was so disappointed.
Oh yeah, I was at that game too.
Man, I hated that.
That was
Oh, yeah,
that was the
definitely.
Tyreek Hill Hill Mary, right? The right before halftime.
Yeah.
Good play.
It was a good play. Yeah, I did not see that coming at all.
Oh yeah.
Now, Clayton, what questions do you have for these two guys? I know we're getting in the midst of off-season stuff. It's the first week, and I'm sure you have questions for JD and Eric. So let's hear some of the questions for the guys.
All right. Well, I actually got these questions from a Facebook group, and I actually want to start with Jason. What was your comparison coaching philosophies from being coached under Dick Vermeil and Herm Edwards?
The difference between coaching philosophies, right?
Yes.
So one big thing about Coach Edwards that was very different from Coach Vermeil was Herm had this philosophy, especially on the offensive side, that whoever had the ball last was going to win the game, and it was all about kind of time management, clock management. And he came in. I remember he said something in the meetings one time. He said, "Man, y'all scored too many points." And we just kind of like looked at each other. Me and Tony like looked at like, "What? Did we just hear this correctly?" And what he was saying was like, "Y'all scored too fast that the defense doesn't have enough time to rest up, right?"
Yeah.
And so, but I'm just like, look, the name of our job is to score points. It's the offense, right? We're supposed to score points, and so the defense gets paid to stop everybody from scoring points too. So that was part of like the philosophy. Just wasn't kind of used to with Dick Vermeil, and Dick Vermeil was kind of really physical. He felt like he just wanted to go ahead and take teams. He didn't care what it was. Didn't really consider it like some type of mercy. But he was all the way like old school mentality. Let's take it to him as fast as we can. Get him out of here early, and then we'll just when the dust settles, we're gonna be on top, and hopefully we're on top by 3 or 4 touchdowns. So that was the biggest philosophy. But I think also too was a little bit more. Coach Vermeil was a lot more kind of family oriented in the thing, his approach to how he did the team, how he did the players, and how he treated us. And I think Herm did the same thing. But two totally different philosophies for sure. But yeah, that was the difference.
All right.
Which is pretty interesting because Herm was coached by Dick back in his Eagles days.
Yeah, you know what? And the thing is, he had Dick when very early on in the career. And so Coach Vermeil was one of those, and he'll tell you, he's like, when he first started coaching, he was more so like the, lunch pail, stay in there all day, trying to get everything done. Who was the first one in the office? Who was the last one to leave? And he realized after a while, like, hey, you know what? Look, these guys have families, and families are very important. And he realized he missed out a lot with his children and his grandchildren when he got older. And so he would tell guys, I remember this, and he could verify this. He would tell coaches, look, get out of here, leave.
Yeah.
Get out of here. I don't want to see you in here. If about 6 o'clock, you need to be gone, just like all the players are. So I loved him for it because, that was the thing about it. Some coaches try to keep you in late. They peek around the corner to see who was still in there, just trying to get, little brownie points. But if you're doing your job as a professional, you don't need brownie points. You're doing your job to the point that you're there. So
all right, sounds good.
Now, Clayton, you got a question for Eric?
Oh yeah, I'm curious. What do you think about our young secondary and their willingness to tackle? Because I know that for Kansas City, you had like 3 consecutive seasons where you had 70+ tackles. Is that correct?
Yeah. I had a headache in the postseason. But no. That's kind of a big part of it because like everybody always thought because of what Deion Sanders brought to the game, everybody wants to be like Deion Sanders. We always thought we could go out there and either dress like him, imitate him, play defense like him. Deion is our statue. He's our our founding, one of our founding fathers of the secondary.
Oh yeah.
But the knock on Dion was that he couldn't tackle. And, you know, he felt like, okay, I'm doing my job as keeping this guy from not catching any of these balls that are going to end up in the end zone or making big plays with this offense. So, you know, you got that front seven up there that's supposed to make these tackles. But yet, you know, that all 11 men are held accountable for it when it comes to making a play. You do your job, then hopefully that play will either be, you know, either short yardage or non-existent. So you have to learn how to tackle. It's a part of the sport. But number one, the biggest job is maintaining what we call it, the backside of the defense, because we're the last line of defense. And you know that, you know, if you can't cover that wide receiver and at all times, then there's no need you having you out there. If you can be the best tackler in the world, but if you can't, you know, stop this guy from catching a pass, you know, you can't get a job done. So I like what we have, you know, especially having Matthew and Tyrann Mathieu and guys, I can't forget it, got a name, brain fart right now, the other safety.
Thornhill?
Yes. You know, I think they do a great job of captaining the secondary that we do have and tackling. Now, at times, just to throw Tyrann Mathieu into that mix of what you just mentioned about the corners not tackling, he is a little undersized, and there's at times where he's trying to jump on the backs of guys because he's not that punishing hitter safety. He's a playmaker, and I love him for being the playmaker that he is.
He's good.
Yeah, 100%. And so he's not the big hitter that. But those, you don't have big hitter safeties in the league anymore. They're kind of the NFL has gotten away from that because a big hit is a penalty nowadays. Yeah. And so you know, if you're not able to make a play, then the big hit is kind of null and void. So
especially when you're tackling out of bounds, because that happened with a lot of teams last year.
Yeah. So right now we just need playmakers, and I think we have a young upcoming secondary that's on the rise to becoming really, really good. Yeah.
I mean, what we really need to do in the draft is probably focus on the pass rush, because last year, because Chris Jones, he only had 7.5 sacks, and we're paying him $60 million for 4 years, and he's not really trying to be that elite pass rusher.
Well, I don't think it's Chris Jones. I think it's the guys around. Chris is good.
Oh yeah, Chris is good.
Take nothing from what he's done. Like, he's going to get double teamed because he's up in the middle, going up trying to get in between the offensive line. Now, our pass rushers on the outside, you know, those guys are kind of the ones that fell off and didn't make the plays that we were kind of expecting. So I know that's mainly what we talk about on Chiefs Concern is right now is offensive line and pass rushing, because those are the two main key areas that we need to focus on for this upcoming season.
Yeah. All right, Clayton, before we go, buddy, we want to ask you a question. Okay, so send us away here with what's the one player that's still a free agent right now that you want the Chiefs to sign?
Honestly, since he just got re-signed not even 30 minutes ago, I would say that we bring in Kyle Fuller to maybe be like that third or second corner on our depth chart to help in zone coverage or man coverage.
Yeah. And from what I saw is that apparently we were interested in him in 2018 before he got the transition tag on him. So there could be a possibility there if he signs for a 1 year, $4 million deal or something like that.
Yeah, but then I also saw that we're interested in trading for Zach Ertz.
I would love that. I know JD would love that.
That's been something he's been talking about, is bringing in another tight end.
Yeah. They signed the one guy, wasn't it? They signed him back.
Yeah, they re-signed Kaiser.
Blake Bell.
They resigned your boy Kaiser, and they signed Blake Bell.
Yeah. So,
I mean, Kaiser, he really didn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. He contributed a little bit in the offense, but honestly, he really didn't contribute very much.
Yeah.
We don't ask a whole lot of him, though. You know, he's not asked to do a whole lot when he's put on the field.
True.
You know,
Sure,
majority of the that stuff goes to Kelsey. You know, he's our front runner for whatever we do offensively and it's putting the ball in the end zone or creating big plays.
Yeah, but Kelsey, he's getting up there in age. He's getting up there in age.
He's getting up there in age, but he almost led the NFL in receiving yards. So.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's good still.
Oh yeah.
And plus, that's Mahomes' safety blanket. And, you know, as he gets older, you know, I mean, he's only going to become more of a possession guy anyway. And he doesn't have to have the elusive stuff that he's doing now. He can just become a straight up possession guy. So that's, he's going to age well, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But Clayton, it was great having you on, man. I know you're a big fan of ours, and you've been messaging us last week or so. And, you know, it was great having you on, buddy. We can tell you're a huge Chiefs fan, and it was awesome having you, buddy.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Man, Clayton, man, appreciate it.
Clayton.
All right, yeah, keep supporting them out there in Oklahoma, man. You know,
sir. I might see you at that game
in
Kansas City when the Cowboys come out there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Bye, guys. Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, buddy.
You too.
All right. Take care.
All right, you too.
All right. Well, that does it. We're at the end of the show here. Next week, we're going to continue. There's probably going to be more signs, more releases from now until next week and for the next few weeks, really. But stay tuned and keep watching Chief Concerns as we'll continue to break down all the new additions and guys who may be gone from Kansas City. But as always, stay connected. Follow us on Chief Concerns on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, and tweet at us at @ConcernsChief on Twitter. See you next week, guys.
All right, fellas. Y'all be easy.